David, my God, I mean, anybody else, he can't play the organ anyhow. Everybody knows that. I don't know why they got him to lead this thing. See, he didn't know. They sure didn't know. But he couldn't have known the process, because in just a little while, he's going to go down and see his brothers again. He's got this oil on his head, but he's just going to go down and take them bread and cheese, that's all. And he goes down to the battle where they're fighting. Are y'all okay? He's just going to take them some victuals. He's just going to take them some food. He doesn't have any ulterior motives. He's innocent in this thing. He just go down and say, here you are. I brought y'all some. What'd you come down here for? They're still mad at him. They still hate him because he's got oil on him. Oh, you thought it was going to be fun. No, it's going to be hell. Whoever told you that to be anointed was awesome and wonderful and glorious? All y'all want to be the pastor. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. A man or woman who is chosen by God has to also be equipped in an unusual fashion, because they're going to go through some stuff you couldn't believe. God told Samuel, right, you're headed for a sacrifice, David. David answered and said, hey, what'd you come down here for? You come down to see the battle. Hey, is there not a cause? I mean, here's some bread and cheese and all that, but maybe there's some reason I'm here. And then that big giant starts roaring over on the hill, and David goes over and knocks him in the head, cuts his head off, brings it back, sets down, on Saul's table there with a little frothy, bubbly, jello, bloody, and just kind of slides it across to him and says, here you go, your majesty. Shh. From that moment, hey, David, he's done married the king's daughter. The next thing you know, David is commander-in-chief of all of Saul's forces. The next thing you know, his best friend is Jonathan, Saul's son, the prince of all the land. Oh, my goodness, I wish I was David. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Oh, you lucky dog, you. Oh, David. Wow, David. Oh, how wonderful. Really? Now Saul's trying to pin him to the wall. Yeah, with a javelin. And now he's hiding and crawling out the window and saying goodbye to his wife. And it won't be very long, she's going to be married up to another man. And he's going to tell Jonathan, I love you. And they're going to embrace like brothers, but they're not going to see each other again. The next time David looks at Jonathan's face, it'll be setting up on a pole, on a wall, where he has been killed and mocked. And his head is on top of the battlements of the Philistines. Ha! He never knew he was on a path to loss. It's the loss of his wife and the loss of the kingdom, and it's the loss of the king's table. And that's not all. It's the loss of his best friend. But more than that, he's already lost his father's house. He's lost his sheep. He's lost the peace that he used to have when he wrote all of those hymns and psalms you love to sing. He's lost that. Now he's lost his appetite. His hunger is raging, and then he's weak, and now he's sick. And he goes and asks somebody, go ask that man over there, that Nabal man, ask him if he could get us a little something to eat. And they go over and say, Nabal, David, David, he's hungry, wants some sheep. You know what the answer is? Who is David? He's not only lost his honor, he's lost his reputation. Now he's down in the land of the Philistines. He's acting like a madman. He's acting like a fool. Are y'all still here with me? He's trying to hide down in the lands of his enemies. Now his enemies discover who he is. They treat him better than his brethren. They're willing to let him join their army. They're willing to let David come and live with them. Now he's, hey, the only people that would stay around him are thugs and criminals. He's got 600 men. They're called mighty men, but they're mighty mean men. They're mighty bad men. That's why they're mighty, because they're thugs. They're criminals. Nobody going to hang out with David but nasty folks. That's not the worst part. He doesn't dare get around good folks. If he does, he'll get them in trouble. He went down to some of his brethren, down yonder in Nob. He was a little hungry, Priest gave him a little showbread. Remember the story? He ate the showbread and he said, hey, listen, I'm anointed, but I don't have a sword. I'm anointed, but I don't have a house. I'm anointed, but I don't have a friend. You got any swords around here? He said, well, that sword you took off Goliath several years ago, it's back yonder. He said, that's a good one. Bring it here. He struck. That's good. And Doeg, his name means dog, Egyptian, he's watching that. The good man of God, the good priest of Nob, gave him the sword, gave him something to eat out of the priest's storehouse. Doeg runs and tells Saul. You know what Saul did? He sent an army down there. And because they helped David, he slew 85 preachers. 85 priests of Nob died because they were kind to David. He's an ignominy to everybody. He has leprosy as far as they're concerned. Stay away from David. Whatever you do, get away from David. Yeah, and then finally, even the Philistines who had enlisted him in their army, they started murmuring, saying, no, if we ever go fight the Israelites, he'll change sides on us. I don't think we better let him in the army. And then they kicked him out. Said, well, I'm sorry. Achish, the king, said, I'm real sorry. You know, we thought we could let you stay, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And out of the kindness of this king who was an enemy to Israel, he said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a city. The name of the city is Ziklag. You've been running now for 14 years, David. I'm going to give you this city. At least you can lock the doors at night. Give you a little bit of security. I know you need a little security. You can bar the windows up at night, and you and your family can be in there. You don't have to worry about somebody sneaking up on you in the dark. There's a well in there. You don't have to let these men go all the way through and break through to Bethlehem and try to get water for you. There's a well in there. You can drink your own water. And there's room for all your men in there. You can have your own town. And I think finally, you've come to your rest and you've come to your peace. And now everything's going to get better for you. That's going to be good, isn't it, David? He said, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm a little weary. I've been running here a long time. I don't understand. You know, when they poured that oil on me, it seemed like the minute they put that oil on me, it all started. I don't understand it, but it's when that oil hit me in the head. I didn't even know there's any problems up to then. I was enjoying the sheep myself, and just kind of singing to them and loved my harp. I don't even know where my harp is. And my daddy, he loved me. He did, you know, my brothers, they're always snotty, but, you know, big brothers, how they are anyhow. But I don't even have my daddy anymore. And then Saul, he was going to be nice to me, I guess, but he won't let me sit at his table either. And I married this beautiful girl, Michael. I haven't seen her in 13 years. I understand she's married to another man. I really miss her too. And I don't know. But I thank you for this town, and I'm going to receive it from you, and I'm going to live in it, and I appreciate it. We'll be going up there in a few days. And they went up and got everybody situated, and David and all for a couple of days. Came back home. And would you believe it? The Amalekites. They came and burned his town down. Stole his wives. Stole his kids. Stole his men's wives. Stole their kids. Stole his cows. Stole his sheep. Stole everything. David comes and sits down in the ashes of what he thought was going to be some solitude. When he thought finally he could get a little bit of rest. He's been through all kinds of struggles, all kinds of pain. Did you ever get to the place where even the people that were nearest to you, hey, isn't it amazing? They're always wanting to kill the preacher.